Hi guys, it's Anna Bright. I am the #2 pickleball pro in the world, and I am here today to talk to you guys about what in the hell is going on with Major League Pickleball. If you don't know, it is the team professional format of pickleball. We play in the PPA, then we play in the MLP, and I'm excited to get into everything that's going on. There's so much going on with the MLP right now. There's so much going on that me, as a player, as one of the most invested players, has struggled to follow it. So I'm excited to break it all down and talk about my thoughts on everything. If you guys want more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. I'm really excited to be building this out, just to be connecting with you guys more, because I know you guys see me on the court as like this crazy Amazonian goddess, and I scream a lot and I'm really fired up, but I'm just a girl, so please subscribe. So let's get right on into it. The first big thing affecting the 2026 MLP season is that we have our very first expansion team. We have the Palm Beach Royals. I actually live in Palm Beach County, funny enough, so the Royals are right up the road from me, and they just claimed their very first player off of waivers in a very interesting new rule that was implemented largely just for them. They were able to claim Sophia Seving for $80,000, and they have the ability to claim one more man for that price, and they also have the unique ability to trade cash to other teams in exchange for a player. So as I am posting this, as I'm recording this, they have only claimed Sophia Seving, but that has huge implications. So Sophia Seving, for those of you who don't know, she recently signed only with MLP. She's been probably the best player on the APP tour for the last couple of months. So it's a hugely consequential signing for MLP. She's not signed to PPA yet, but wouldn't be surprised if we see an announcement in the next couple of months that she is signed on to both fully exclusively. This is huge for the Royals because they are starting off their season with a woman who definitely has top 10 potential. She's probably already top 20, and I think her ceiling is extremely high. So the Royals, they are spending money. They want to compete. I had the question, other people had the question, why were challenger teams not given the same ability to claim players off of waivers before the free agency draft that is going to be happening in a couple of weeks? I actually had a really interesting talk with Samin, who is the commissioner of MLP, who explained so many things to me. I had so many questions. He said to me that generally in sports, teams want expansion teams to do well. Why do you want your expansion teams to do well? Initially, I was like, okay, well, that's not really fair. But he brought up a really great point that if expansion teams do well, it is easier to get more teams to want to expand into the league. And that actually made a lot of intuitive sense to me. And other types of competition structures that would have helped the Royals hit the ground running just did not really make sense, considering we only have 4 starters. It's not like you can just protect a couple of that didn't really make sense. So I thought that was really interesting, and that kind of resonated with me and made sense. And then another big point when I brought up, well, why don't challenger teams get this opportunity? For those of you who don't know, a couple of years ago, teams had the option to either start in Premier or Challenger, and half the teams opted to pay a significant amount of money to start in Premier. They said, kind of sucks to suck a little bit, but for these teams who are now being moved into Premier, it's like they didn't pay a few years ago, and now this is kind of the opportunity cost they're paying now. So I thought that was really interesting. I thought it made a lot of sense, and that did kind of answer my questions. I do think it'll be interesting to see how the Royals play out. I do think they're going to be spending very big to acquire a largely homegrown team. It'll be really fun. They're going to be playing out of a very nice facility, I think, and I'm really excited for everything that will have to do with the Palm Beach Royals and seeing how Sophia Seving compares to myself and the other PPA stalwarts. So what do you guys think? If the Palm Beach Royals claim another male off of waivers, who do you think it's going to be? Do you think they're going to claim AJ Kohler, maybe Kwang Duong if he re-signs with the UPA, up-and-coming junior like Camden Chafin, maybe Chris Hayworth? Who do you guys think the Royals will claim, if anyone? The second big change in MLP is that we have no more challenger. This was just released and is very new. So in past seasons, there has been a Premier League and then a Challenger League. And to be quite frank, the difference between Premier and Challenger was significant. Watching Challenger was sometimes borderline painful, honestly. Sometimes a little bit painful. And considering there were only 6 teams in Challenger in 2025, they just played 5 round robins against each other. Can you imagine how boring it would be to travel to a different place to play the exact same 5 other teams and people and just again and again and again? So boring. So I personally am very glad that they have just decided to do away with Challenger. There are going to be 20 teams in MLP, point blank, period. A couple teams are merging, the Brooklyn Pickleball team and the New York Hustlers, and then a couple of other teams are exploring sales. So as of right now, there are going to be 20 teams all combined together in one league. I think this is really good because it makes MLP as a whole much easier to follow, and it prevents this weird situation where there's just a few teams kind of stuck playing against each other like in perpetuity, and they're just like in this time loop again and again and again, and it's like hard to really find the motivation there. Does stink for the Las Vegas Night Owls, who won challenge last year. I saw a funny tweet like the Las Vegas Night Owls, like their championship means nothing. It's like, yeah, that kind of sucks. But all the teams being together in one league is really interesting, and I think it's really good for continuity and just things making sense, and we can move towards consistency with rules. But what's it going to look like when the best team in the league plays the 20th team in the league? It might not look very good. It might actually not look very good at all. But I talked to Samine about this. It's their hope that there ends up being roughly 3 tiers of teams within MLP. There's kind of, your contenders. Then there is, your middle of the pack teams. And there's your teams that are just kind of like, they're fighting. They're trying their best, And it's their hope that matches across teams in the same tier are really super competitive, really, really electric. And I think with their format, we still should get a lot of those such matches. The third biggest thing is the updates to the regular season. The regular season is going to look totally, totally different in 2026 than it did in 2025. In 2025, it was kind of tough to follow storylines. Individual events didn't really make sense. There was so much inconsistency in terms of how many teams were at an event, the caliber of teams at an event, the number of matches teams played at an event. You had some teams who had played 11 of their 25 matches within the first 3 weeks of the season, and there were other teams that had only played 2. It really made no sense, and it really made tracking who the actual best teams were in the league very, very difficult up until like the last events of the regular season. So Samine and his team and everyone working at MLP came up with this really cool solution in which events are going to be standalone and they are going to have winners. So events are going to have 11 teams each, and there's going to be 2 round robins, which is like everyone plays everyone. And then on Sunday should be very, very electric during the MLP season. The winners of each pool will play each other. The teams who got second place in each pool will play each other. The teams that got third place will play each other, so on and so forth. And points will be allocated for each event towards the regular season based on finish. So whoever finishes in first place for the event will get a certain number of points, and it just goes down the line, and the team that got 11th place will get 9. And I think this is really, really good because everyone just plays a little bit harder when you feel like you're playing to win something, right? Like my team won, another team won. We are playing to win the event. Imagine I'm in St. Louis, assuming I'm still in the Shock, I'm playing in Chaffetz Arena. My team won my pool. The Dallas Flash won their pool. We are playing not just in a normal regular season match. We are playing to win the event. I'm going a little bit harder in that match, and every other person on that court is too. So a big reason the league wanted to do this is that it almost guarantees that Sunday's matches will be insanely competitive, and they can be scheduled out in a very organized manner, which is great for selling TV time. And it's a huge goal to just get eyeballs on pickleball, get pickleball on TV, get eyeballs on pickleball, and know that we have a compelling product to offer people. So when you know that you can have your first match of the day be the third place teams playing against each other, then the second place teams, and then you have your big final, and then you have kind of your other matches going on Grandstand, you know that you are putting out a premier product on that Sunday, even if some of the earlier days aren't as good when you have teams playing across different tiers. But on Sunday, your team should in theory be pretty evenly matched, and hopefully we're getting a lot of dream breakers. And everyone loves a good dream breaker. Everyone loves a good men versus women. It's 18-18. It's 2020. One team can't close. There's nerves. Maybe there was a bad call. Maybe one team has no challenge. They're just drama. There's nothing more electric than a dream breaker. And I hope all of you guys have gotten a chance to play in Major League Pickleball and you've had your fair share of dream breakers. They're electric. They hurt. They hurt your soul, but they are absolutely electric. So in order to determine playoff seeding, the total number of points earned by every team will be added up. And I just think this will make things really, really consistent. And I think it's a really great change. And I'm really excited to see how it plays out. I think it's a great hybrid of what the league has done in the past, like in 2023, and with what they've done the last 2 years. So I'm really excited for it. I'm excited to see how it plays out. You won't know until it happens, but I think it's a great compromise. Speaking of dream breakers, we are going to see the rise of the singles specialist this year. And I absolutely can't wait. This is a huge update to the competition structure in that now teams can play anyone on their roster. So teams have to field 3 men and 3 women. And in the past, only 4 players could play in a match, save for sub-ins due to injuries. But now you could draft 4 doubles players and have 2 singles players on your bench. And then when it's Dream Breaker time, you can play a singles player. You could also have someone who only plays mixed doubles, someone who only plays men's doubles. And I think this makes the draft so much more layered and provides so much more color and context to it. It makes players who are not that good at singles more valuable. And it also makes players who are very good at singles more valuable. So it's really, really interesting. Someone like Chris Hayworth, whose doubles game is not fully there yet. Also, hi, Chris. I think you might be watching this. He becomes super, super valuable as a potential Dream Breaker player. And that also gives him the opportunity to really develop his doubles game also. So I think this is such a cool change. And also you can have like double specialists, like maybe Colin Johns only plays men's doubles somewhere, but he doesn't play mixed and he doesn't play singles. I think this is really cool. You guys may never see me again on a singles Dream Breaker court. I mean, I'm a pretty good singles player, especially in the number 2 position, but if like there's a really good singles player on the on my bench, like I wouldn't mind just watching. Just kidding. I like to play. I like to have, my fate in my own hands, but it is possible. You don't see as much of me on the singles court. I think this is a really, really good development, not only for singles specialists, but just for anyone wanting to get better at doubles and kind of break in, because now it's less of an all or nothing type of thing. Like if teams want to give a new player a chance, they can just have them play one event and not feel like, oh my gosh, like we are really risking losing this entire match. So I really, really like this change. And I saw an amazing tweet where it's like these single specialists are going to be like kickers in football, where it's like they have all the pressure, they can get all the glory, or they could just get absolutely like shat on by everyone if they don't do well. Maybe not the best word there, but that I think it's going to be really interesting. There's going to be so much more pressure for these players, and I'm here for it. Pressure is drama. We love the drama, don't we? Everyone watching this loves the drama. I know you guys love the drama. And 5, let's talk about some of the biggest trades that have happened so far. By the time that you're watching this, there's probably been more trades, but so far, I think the most impactful trade that we have seen has been the trade between the LA Mad Drops and the Chicago Slice, in which Max Freeman was sent to the Mad Drops in exchange for Cash and Hunter Johnson. Did I get that right? The money part always confuses me, but basically the Mad Drops paid to have Max. I think this is a hugely, hugely consequential trade for a few reasons. Number 1, it gets Ben Johns paired with a lefty. Ben has long been a proponent. He has long said that he thinks the future of pickleball is like lefty-righty, just like Padel, and I think he's probably really excited to play with Max. You know that a team with Ben on it didn't make this decision without his input. So I'm super excited to see how Ben and Max play together. I think Max is quite talented, and he has actually given Ben some trouble in the past. So I'm super, super curious to see this. And then another huge reason this was a great move by the LA Mad Drops, at least as it pertains to their 2026 season, they get to keep everyone. They keep their women. I initially thought that, because the rules are a little bit tough to follow, that when they traded for Max, they would have to drop Ben or one of their women, but they don't even. They were going to probably drop Hunter and then pick someone up for agency, but in doing this, they get another really good player. And Hunter is definitely a better singles player than Max, but I would consider Max definitely an upgrade in doubles. So I really like this move from the Mad Drops. They were already a really scary team. They might get a hair less scary in the Dream Breaker, but they are solidly contenders, which they already were last year, but now I think at an even higher tier. So we will probably see Ben play with Jade, and I would expect to see Catherine play with Max. So that'll be very, very exciting, and a very good move by the LA Mad Drops. The other big move we saw is Caitlin Christian being traded away to the Atlanta Bouncers in exchange for Victoria DiMuzio. There was also cash involved in that trade. The Ranchers are interesting. The Ranchers are a very interesting team. There's an interesting dynamic between Christian, Alshon, and ownership. And you just always know they have something up their sleeves. I do not expect them to keep Victoria DiMuzio at her current cost. I expect she will be let go, and they will take the cash they gained from the trade to probably go after another player. The Ranchers pretty much always have a play, and I'm very curious who they have their eye on. I think that a lot of these teams, there's a big bias towards upside and talent. And if everyone's trying to find the diamonds in the rough, everyone is gaming, everyone is scheming, and I love that. I can't wait to be an MLP GM one day. I am not very involved this year at all in any discussions with my team, largely because I think, they're considering dropping me. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm going to get dropped? Let me know in the comments. It's me, Gabe, or Hayden. One of us is gone, but we could be reacquired, and that is very likely the Shock's intention with the one of us that they drop. But I think that'll be super, super interesting. Do you drop Hayden, the most versatile player in pickleball, and definitely a top 4 men's player, inarguable, he's top 4 in my mind. I would argue, I don't know, I have to think about it, but inarguably top 4. Do you drop Gabe Tardio, who is currently ranked the #1 men's doubles player in the world, or do you drop me, pretty consensus #2 women's player in the world? It's a tough decision. I'm the most expensive though. I am a cheap date, but I am the most expensive to retain. So let me know. And then I think there's been another trade. Miami Pickleball Club continues to be savvy, continues to sell away talent and gain cash. They've got to be close to being operating in the green with this strategy. They develop talent and they sell it off. So I want to know what they have in mind. I'm sure there's been more trades by the time of watching. If there has been, let me know your thoughts on them. But that's all for this video. I hope I provided some clarity on what's going on in Major League Pickleball. And I am most excited to talk about my team in a little bit more depth. So I am so excited for the 2026 MLP season. Many amazing things are going to happen. There's so much drama. I really want to win. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe. I will love you forever if you do.